Okay, so this is the Petalburg Challenge in Pokemon Ruby, and it can be applied or tried out in any Gen 3 game, so that includes Sapphire and Emerald as well. But yeah, so let's see how this works. So basically, I'm going to get started and then I'll run through the rules casually through this video. So this is a fresh new game, and if you'd like to see the rules, you can check the description of the video. But yeah, this is a new challenge that I've put together myself. I haven't seen this online anywhere, and I'm hoping it'll work, and it's going to be a very interesting narrative. So yeah, let's get through this just early game, create our character, and then I'll tell you a little bit about the challenge. I think it's really cool. And just off the back of my 151 challenge or 151 challenge playthrough of Pokemon Gold, this is a new challenge, slightly different, and I'm really excited because Ruby is my favorite generation of Pokemon games, and there's a lot of gameplay to cover as well. I'm going to choose a girl character because we were a boy character in Gold, so why not change it up? And the sprite is cool. I do like the sprite. Yes, it is Luke. I think it's Professor Birch, I think. So yeah, there's a couple of important things to consider as well. I'm going to have to roll a d6 at some point as well. But once we kind of get into the world here, I'm going to explain, because this is important. This intro is important to the story as well. So we've just arrived in Littleroot, and there's the moving van and everything. It's all very cool. It's almost SNES era, right? It kind of feels that way. I love that. Whatever point in Nintendo's history this was, and I'm assuming it's like, I don't know, handheld / SNES style. Really, really cool. Okay, so we'll check out our house, our new home. Is that some chokes just hanging around? Oh, they're the moving guys. Okay, that's kind of interesting. Okay, so what I'm going to do is... Okay, so we have to check around here. So I'm going to run through just a little bit of the fluff. I'm going to read through what I've written in the description, just while we explore our new home here. So basically, okay, so you haven't quite adjusted to the Hoenn region just yet. To help you on your journey to becoming the champion, you decide to assemble a team of Pokemon that remind you of your new home in Littleroot Town. You also feel bad for defeating the Poochyena that attacked Professor Birch, which we will eventually encounter. This Pokemon will now be your proxy first partner as part of the challenge. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. So yeah, this is a fun narrative-driven challenge, and therefore there are no Nuzlocke-style level caps, rules for fainted Pokemon, or other restrictions on gameplay. These tougher challenges are great, but the Petalburg Challenge is for the casual Pokemon fan returning to the Hoenn region or perhaps playing for the first time. So yeah, that's kind of it. So the Petalburg Challenge is all centered around rule number 1, and rule number 1 is the player must not catch any wild Pokemon beyond Petalburg City. So the idea is that you've just arrived in the region, as we've seen in the moving van, and you're kind of a bit apprehensive about the journey, right? So you decide to catch Pokemon close to home, to remind you of home, to kind of give you some comfort on your quest to become the champion. So that's the Petalburg Challenge, essentially. So you need to work from that pool of Pokemon up to and including Petalburg City, which is like the first city with a gym in it, right? It's where your father's gym is. So yeah, so we can kind of, it'll all become a little bit more obvious when we start playing through here, but that's kind of the gist of it. That's the summary of it. And there are some other rules, but I'll run through those as we play. It's cool that we have a Game Boy there. We have our computer. Get our potion. Okay, nice. Let's set the time. So it is currently, as I'm recording, 8:10 in the PM. So I guess roughly around, oh, I've gone too far. Roughly around this time, right? It's like 11 past now, so let's go for that. So yeah, I was going to try the 151 challenge in this generation as well, but the problem is there's only about like 24 Gen 1 Pokemon, and you can't catch any until after the first gym battle, so it wouldn't really work. So I tried to think of something else that would be interesting, and I looked through the map and I was like, what if you only played through the game and completed the game with Pokemon that you've caught in the early sections of the game? I just thought that would be interesting. And the fact that you encounter a Poochyena in the cinematic opening part where you have to select your first Pokemon, and I thought it would be cool that Poochyena would actually become your proxy starter instead of the tree that the professor offers you. I think that's really cool. I think somebody has done that already though, in terms of trying to beat the game with just a Poochyena, but I've kind of incorporated it as part of the narrative. Okay, we should make sure everything's on our desk. Okay, press the start menu, save. I guess, right? That's everything, right? Okay, it's the map. Awesome, okay. I think that's everything, right? Okay, we don't need to nap right now. Man, the graphics look really good on it's great to see this game on a bigger screen, really, because one of the things that was always a bummer was playing this on a handheld. I guess, I don't know, like I love playing these games on a bigger screen. I think it's really, really, really cool. It's more of a console experience, right? Oh yeah, Professor Birch. Let's introduce ourselves. So yeah, we do still need to pick a first partner Pokemon. You can't get around that. So what we're going to do is roll a d6 to decide which one, because it's to prevent you basically, and that is one of the rules, it's to prevent you basically just picking, you know, selecting a first partner Pokemon. You know, it gives you the choice then to select your opponent's first starter, because it's usually the opposite, right, effect-wise. So I just wanted to randomize that whole process. So here's Birch. Ah, yes, okay, I get it now. So, yeah, I'm going to use Google to roll a d6. So, yeah, I suppose now's a good opportunity to just actually mention the rest of the rules, because it's important. So, yeah, so obviously you can't catch any wild Pokemon beyond Petalburg. Okay, that's kind of the core rule. The second rule is you must not have any traded or gifted Pokemon in your team. Rule 3 is you may fish to catch wild Pokemon once you're not doing so beyond Petalburg City, so you can do that up to and including Petalburg City. Oh yeah, rule number 4. So the player must roll a d6 to determine which first partner they choose, thus randomizing the type of their rivals' Pokemon. And then rule number 5, as soon as the player can obtain a Pokeball, they must catch a wild Poochyena on Route 101 and store their Gen 3 first partner in the PC for the remainder of the game. And that's basically it. that's the challenge in a nutshell. So let's see how this plays out here. The pool of Pokemon in the early game is actually quite diverse, so it's not as restrictive as you would think, but it does force you to really think about these areas, and like areas that you would normally pass through and pay no attention to. Now you suddenly have to think like, okay, I have to catch Pokemon from, you know, in areas near my home up to Petalburg. So yeah, it's interesting. Oh, okay, yeah, I think we have to go in here first. A gym leader's kid, I assumed you'd be a guy. My name is Brendan. Okay. What game does Brendan have on GameCube? Okay, just as a Game Boy as well. Can we hack his computer? Oh, we can. Shouldn't be doing this. That's just some kind of tips. Okay, okay. So yeah, if you think it's a cool idea or whatever, be sure to drop a comment and we can discuss further. I may have missed something. I'm just trusting that I've done research and figured this out. You know, I hope it'll work out, but if there's any hitches along the way, I'll add some rules or some caveats or whatever. But I think the pool of Pokemon that's available covers all major HMs. I have actually checked that out, so it checks out in that regard. That's why I had to include the fishing as an option as well, but not surf, because surf would kind of bring you beyond the point of home. Okay, so Birch is getting attacked here. So the idea is we end up feeling sorry for the Poochyena and actually go and endeavour to catch it and use it as our main Pokemon. So now what I'm going to do is, right, so at this point, so you have, okay, grass, fire, water, right? Yeah, grass, fire, water. So we're going to roll a d6, obviously 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 5 to 6 will determine the options there. I'm just going to Google roll d6, and will I bring it up? I'm gonna bring it up on the screen. Why not? Window capture. Yeah, why not? Okay, so let's do this. So that's not my roll, by the way. I still need to roll it. Okay, I get 2 again anyway. Right, so let me just jump back in here. So that means we have to pick Trico, which means our opponent will have fire type. So whatever way that works out. So yeah, at that point in the challenge, you have to roll a d6 to determine which Pokemon you pick, because you will be putting that Pokemon in the PC. But that choice will determine the type of your rival's main Pokemon, so that's kind of an important decision. And I think for the challenge to work, it needs to be randomized. So we can you can obviously use this Pokemon up to the point of obtaining a Pokeball. And if I remember correctly, I don't think you're gifted Pokeballs in this by the professor's assistant. I think you can just buy them in the store in Oldale, which is like the first little town. Yeah, this looks so good on the big screen. There's a load of detail here I never would have even noticed before. Very cool. All the little books and stuff on the table. So obviously in this game, so your father is a gym leader and... Oh no. I did not mean to do that. I hope that didn't give him a nickname. I really didn't want to do that. He's going in the PC anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But no, it didn't work. So that if you just leave it blank there, it'll actually negate the nickname screen. So yeah, the challenge, there are no nicknaming rules in this challenge. You if you're like me, I prefer to keep the Pokemon their normal names. I don't like nicknaming them, basically. I like that they have their normal names. Okay. So you get the running shoes in this as well, which is kind of cool. Right, so we need to catch a Poochyena, and this is Route 101, so this is where you need to do it. Okay, so can I buy them now? I think you can, right? I think you can just buy them. This is Oldale, right? Oh yeah, nice. Okay, so... Oh no, sorry, you can't actually. Interesting. So you must have to wait till you get to... So yeah, okay, yeah, so this is Route 103. You can also catch Pokemon here, and you'll see in the description, you can explore, or you can catch Pokemon in Route 101, 102, 103 by fishing and in the water areas of Petalburg City itself. There's some ponds and stuff. And you can return at any point during the playthrough to catch new Pokemon and train them up, etc. It's going to be difficult in the late game, right? Because you can't just catch a high level. Although the Good Rod and the Super Rod will give access to more high level Pokemon. So there is that. So that could work out. So yeah, it's not important here to battle wild Pokemon or anything like that. Okay, so we can't actually do anything. I actually forget what you're supposed to do at this point. You go back and talk to your mom, maybe? Okay, we rested up. I'm going to talk to Birch again. I kind of skipped through his dialogue. Oh yeah, Brendan should be on Route 103. We actually missed Brendan. I was on Route 103 already. What's great about playing this on a bigger screen as well is that it kind of feels smaller. It doesn't fit, the world doesn't seem as vast, which is nice. It doesn't feel as like daunting to explore. I think on the handheld, everything felt really vast. Even this little trek from like Birch's lab to here feels incredibly short. Okay, nice. So Brendan's going to be up here, and we're going to battle it out, I think. So obviously you have to use your first partner here in this battle, and that's fine. The battle screens are so much quicker as well than Gen 2. I mean, Gen 2 was kind of a transitional... Look at this, I'm about to white out here. But Gen 2 was kind of a transitional phase. This feels much more put together in that respect. Do I have to keep trying that till I beat him? I suppose normally I would have leveled up Trico and just beaten him. Okay, so you do have to beat him. Okay, maybe I should just level up to 6, maybe. So you are free to obviously battle with whichever one you rolled. Maybe, yeah, I think if I level up to 6, it should be enough to beat him. I think Torchic's Scratch does more than Trico's Pound. The sprites are really, really nice as well. Did that wild Pokemon just use a berry? This could be a tougher fight than I thought. But yeah, the pool of Pokemon that are in Route 101, 102 and 103 are really interesting. There's some choices there that I'm kind of looking forward to exploring their kind of evolutionary lines and stuff. So this will be a slightly different playthrough. I mean, like, the 151 challenge was all about kind of nostalgia. This is more so about, well, this is still nostalgia, but it's more so about getting familiar with Pokemon in this game and in this world, instead of trying to instead of trying to keep them out of my team. It's actually my job now to get some of them in my team. Okay, level 6. Let's go and heal up. But yeah, the first task in this kind of part 1 is just to catch the Poochyena, because he's going to be our new starter. And the idea is that in the story, in the narrative, the first Poochyena we see when we have a Pokeball on Route 1, it has to be Route 101, by the way, because that's where you encounter the Poochyena at the start. That you kind of feel sorry for beating it or scaring it away when it attacked Birch, and you decide to catch it and use it as your main Pokemon, which I just think is a cool little twist, because I'm using something the game has already given you. You know, I'm not inventing a story. I'm kind of I'm being liberal with what the game has given me already, which is kind of a cool. It's a cool idea, right? So we're almost at level 7 here. That should be enough to beat Brendan, which is such a vanilla name for your rival. I suppose so was Gary, right? In the show. It was Gary, right? Gary was the rival, right? Or was Gary his friend? No, I think Gary was the rival, right? Okay, level 7. Should be enough, I think. Just gonna go and heal. Okay, so this is Oldale Town, right? And kind of that's the 3 routes that you're mostly looking at here are north, south, and west. So up north is 103, south down here is 101, and then over here to the west is 103, where there's actually quite a large pool of Pokemon of different types and stuff there, which is nice. And then when we get the old rod, we can travel back, maybe catch a Tentacool or something. So yeah, instead of bringing up like the Bulbapedia, which I did a few times in the previous playthrough of Gold, I'm just going to leave all the useful links in the description of like the routes and if there's any links that are specific to each episode, I'll drop them in as well, just if it's about certain areas or you know, anything that's specific to an episode, I'll drop in. Yeah, I like everything feels really slick. The dialogue, everything's moving nice and quick. It just feels pacier than my gold playthrough, which felt sluggish at times, which is fine. I think that's perfect, but it's a nice change of pace. And I also play on vanilla, by the way, as well. I don't play with any like speeding up options or settings on the emulator. I also own rubies. That's kind of my... That's me. That's why I don't have any guilt for like emulating stuff I don't, or like licensed stuff I don't own. I actually own Ruby, so I'm using that as an excuse. I mean, I'm not against people emulating like licensed stuff, but for me personally, I like to just emulate stuff that's either fan-made, indie, or stuff I own. That's kind of the parameters I use, and it's useful just creatively because I don't want to have an infinite number of games to check out. I would just be overwhelmed. So it kind of suits me to have a tighter parameter like that. Okay, so that does 4 damage. I think I should be good here. Unless he gets a critical hit. No, I'm good. Look how quick the back and forth that was so nice. That was really nice, like, pace there. This is a lengthier game than Gold as well, so I'll need it to be a bit more pacier, because we're probably looking at a 30 or 40 hour playthrough. Okay, let's head on back here and get the running shoes. There's different types of bike in this as well, right? For like going up mudslides or climbing up mountains or whatever. So yeah, I think the Petalburg Challenge has a nice ring to it. Instantly you're intrigued about, okay, what is it about Petalburg? Now of course you could extend it to the forest, right? But you're actually not. There's actually kind of not a very diverse pool of Pokemon in the forest. I think it's Petalburg Woods, is it, or Petalburg Forest, whatever it's called. It's not that far after Petalburg City, so it doesn't really matter. So I think for argument's sake, I think Petalburg City is a good cut-off point. So once you leave Petalburg City, it's like in The Hobbit, right, or in Lord of the Rings, where it's like, this is the furthest I've ever been from home type of thing. So I think, yeah, if you could imagine the character, you know, 3/4 way through their journey or whatever, if their entire team is made up of Pokemon from the early routes, there's a kind of a comfort in that, right? I think that's kind of interesting to yeah, it's an interesting narrative device, so let's run with it. Why not? So yeah, as I said, I did think of other challenges like the 151 or type only. I was thinking of like bug type only or whatever, but then you get like HMs can be a bit of a pain, and I wonder then in some playthroughs do people use like HM slaves, I think they call them, or whatever, where you use Pokemon just for their HMs. I don't really want to do that. And then I thought, like, what about restricting to only Pokemon found in the forest or the woods? So that didn't really work. So this is what worked. So yeah, feel free to try it, to contribute to it, to think about if you think there's any rules or any kind of narrative twists. Feel free to add to it. Consider it open source. Run with it. If anybody else wants to record it, try it. You know, do your thing. It's fine. Okay, we got the Pokedex. Nice. Okay. Oh, Brendan's actually Birch's kid. That's cool. Now we got the Pokeball. So I suppose for the plot, 1 Pokeball, 1 chance, 1 Poochyena, right? Okay, so can we just head on now, I guess? Yeah, I guess. So now we're off on our journey, essentially. So I think we get our running... yeah, we do. Get the running shoes off Mom. Okay, nice. Press B. Yeah, if anything happens, you can come home. You see, there's a homely sentiment. There's a kind of a... there's a real comfort to home, and it's part of the story. I just think the challenge I've put together really complements that, for sure. Okay, nice. We got some support from Mom. We can run. Nice. I think this guy, he'll offer some help about... okay, I thought he was going to help. Okay, so nice. So basically, this is where we encountered the Poochyena, right? Oh, we have 5 Pokeballs. Okay, so perfect. So at this point, now you need to catch Poochyena. So ideally, if it's the first Pokemon, that'd be great. No. But the first Poochyena you encounter will be your proxy starter Pokemon. And Mightyena is a cool evolution as well. I'll have to check my notes, but I'm nearly certain there are wild Poochyena here. Okay. It's apparently elusive. I'm gonna have to... do I have to check? Do I have to check this? Like, did I get this right? Surely I did. Route 101 Pokemon. Okay. What's the... oh, it's only a 10% chance. Okay. Well, that kind of makes it even more interesting. It's like a 1 in 10 chance. We can check here also. We're still on Route 101 technically, so... no, we just had a bunch of Wurmples. No, so we don't want a level 2, because that could be hard to level up. Level 3 ideally, because then we can just face off against some Zigzagoons and Wurmples. Okay, so it's actually quite tough to find a Poochyena here. Okay. Aha, so this is our Poochyena. Oh, it's level 2. Okay, I mean that's the narrative, right? Okay, if I kill it. Okay, still there. I think he can take one more hit, but let's try and catch him. So I can't use Trico to level this Poochyena up. I'm putting Trico straight into the PC. Okay, so we have our Poochyena. Okay, so this is our new starter Pokemon, a level 2 Poochyena. Okay. So from now on, I can't battle with Trico. Trico needs to go. So this is could the entire challenge actually be getting Poochyena to level 3? Although he should be okay against Wurmple, right? Level 2 Wurmple. Okay, so into the Pokemon Center. We can use the PC. Okay, bye-bye Trico. Okay, so we have our Poochyena that we frightened away at the start of the game. It's going to be our new proxy first partner. Okay, nice. So now, like, I have to try and level him up. Once he gets to like 3 or 4, he should be fine against all these wild Pokemon. Let's see how this goes. Okay, it's level 2. Okay, his attack fell. That's not good. I might struggle here. If I get a critical hit, maybe. It doesn't matter too much if I keep whiting out while I'm still trying to level him up. Okay, come on. Okay, I don't know if I can take any more. No. Oh, I don't know. No. Okay, that didn't work. Right, so we're gonna have to... This could be tough, but I mean... I'll get it after a few tries, but it's just... Seeing a level 2 was unfortunate, because you can see a level 3 as well. So you might get lucky and see a level 3 Poochyena. But, okay, he gets the first attack. That's just not good. I need to get a critical hit. I don't know if I'm going to be able to beat him. Maybe I should focus on Wurmple. Let's do that. Let's focus on Wurmple. So I think you can travel west at this point, and I can show you a little bit of Route 103. But let's try maybe Wurmple as an opponent. I think Zigzagoon's a little bit... definitely not level 3. This could be a tough challenge, now that I think about it. Okay, here's Wurmple. Level 2. Okay, my speed mustn't be good because I keep going second against all these. Okay, I got a critical hit. I needed that big time. I must make a playlist for this challenge as well. So okay, he missed. Nice. So anybody can keep up to date with the oh nice, nearly level 3 with the challenge. So yeah, I guess in this episode, like the first hour or so of your playthrough will be catching your Poochyena, getting through the early game stuff, getting your running shoes, defeating Brendan. Actually, yeah, if you choose a boy character, is your opponent a girl? Or is it always Brendan? No, I think it's always Brendan, right? Interesting. Okay, so let's see. Nice, we have a Wurmple again. Oh, it's level 3 though. I'm gonna try it. I'm just gonna try it. Is that my defense? Oh, speed fell. Okay. I'm already not attacking first, so. Yeah, I'm not gonna win that. But yeah, just maybe getting Poochyena to level 5 isn't a bad goal for this first part. I'm on good time actually. I'm like 40 minutes. I do a lot of chatting though, so it's probably take up some time as well. But let's just see. Actually, you can go west now. So this is Route 102, so there's more grass here. I think there's enemies here as well, or not enemies, like trainers. So there's some like fishing spots as well. And then once you get past this route, you're in Petalburg City. But first we need to defeat another Wurmple, level 2. But yeah, Poochyena is a great evolution from Poochyena to have as your main Pokemon. It's a dark type. It can learn a lot of TMs as well. It's not OP. It's not like amazing, but it's a solid starter. Okay, so we still need that level 2 Wurmple. So yeah, so I'm gonna have to think about also about Pokemon number 2 in the team. So the first gym is rock type, so Poochyena is not going to be useful at all actually. So what I was thinking was maybe one of the bug evolution lines of Wurmple, so you can get Beautyfly or Dustox. Beautyfly will learn Confusion, I think, and maybe, and there is a 1% chance on Route 102 of catching a Surskit, which is a bug/water type that knows, I think, is it Bubble or Water Gun or something like that. So that would be like OP against rock type, but we'll think about that shortly. For the moment, we have to get this Poochyena to level up. I mean, starting a playthrough at level 2 wild Pokemon is brutal. But it shouldn't be too bad. I mean, Poochyena evolves at level 18, so that's nice. And interestingly, we will still have some Gen 1 Pokemon, as I said, when we get the Fishing Rod. You can catch Magikarp, Tentacool, even a Goldeen is available, which is interesting. Will I survive? Come on, I have to. Come on, let's go. Nice. I think we level up here. I must check his learn set as well. I'm not sure when he learns something decent. I might actually just put that up on the screen. Why not, seeing as I'm here. Poochyena. Okay, let's leave that on the screen for the moment. So let's see. Okay, his learn set in Gen 3. Is that on the screen? Sort of. Yeah, you can see that, right? Right, so Bite at level 13 is nice. But apart from that, it's only Tackle. If we go back and we switch to Poochyena, is there any difference after level 18? No. Takedown at level 37 is the next major move. Yeah, that's tough. So we will be relying on Bite that we learn at level 13. So it's difficult, and I think I did want to. You could technically do this challenge without adding in Poochyena, but of the Pokemon in this original area in Route 101, 102, 103, he's probably one of the better ones actually to pick as your starter. I mean, you could choose like Ralts, which is like the Gardevoir line and stuff, but I think thematically and as part of the narrative, I think Poochyena is the pick. So yeah, quite honestly, I would be happy to get Poochyena to level 5 in this video. And obviously, perhaps to actually just reach Petalburg City as a loose goal wouldn't be too bad. I mean, I kind of have to, right? It's the Petalburg Challenge, so it would be a nice goal to have. But this is feeling good already. It's feeling kind of snappy. I like the pace of it. Gold can be very frustrating sometimes with the map, and it's a bit mazy and a bit... But this feels nice. It feels good. And as I said, it's my favourite generation as well. Okay, can I do this? Oh, I don't think I can. No. So we're going to have to focus on level 2. Just a little bit of grinding in the early game. I suppose it is going to be a difficult path. Okay, I'm just going to focus on level 2 for the minute. It's going to be up to level like up until I learn Bite. It's going to be a tricky. I'm going to have to be very careful now about what I pick as my second Pokemon. I need something with a bit of damage, with some good damage moves. So we might check out some of the Bulbapedia pages on those routes. I like the sound of Wingull. It's such a, when would you ever hear anybody else say that? Now, I like the sound of Wingull, who is available on Route 103, just north. It can learn. It knows Water Gun, which is obviously could be very important for the first gym. I mean, the second gym is fighting as well. It's going to be. There's some tough challenges on the way, but that's the point, right? So let's see how we get on. It's definitely doable. I feel emboldened after my successful run of gold with those restrictions, so it's definitely doable. Okay, so let's heal up again. But yeah, let me know if you're playing any Pokemon games. Are there any you would like to return to or play for the first time, for example? I always kind of return to Gold and Ruby. They're my two go-tos. I would like to maybe try Gen 4. I've never played Pearl or Diamond and Pearl, or I suppose Platinum is the special edition, right? And having collected some of the cards for a while, I'm kind of familiar with the later gens as well. It wouldn't be too foreign to me. But say, for example, even in Ruby, I would have always played through Ruby by catching a lot of OP Gen 1 Pokemon like Geodude. Abra into Kadabra is just ridiculous. It's just it's way too overpowered. You can just overpower the whole game basically if you have a Kadabra. And if you just level the shit out of your starter Pokemon as well, you just it's quite easy to play through the game. So this time around I'll be forced to train up some of the Gen 3 Pokemon, which is nice because I'm not that familiar with a lot of them. Okay, nice. We're level 4 now, so we can start focusing maybe a little bit on level 3 maybe. Okay, there's another Poochyena. It's like the Spider-Man meme, right? With the pointing at each other going, wait a minute. That's me. That's me. It's you. That's me. I'd love to see like somebody like a YouTuber maybe who's known for Pokemon runs and challenges with like a large following. I would love them to see something like this and be like, yeah, I want to try that. See if I can do that. Because I think it's a really good challenge. So as I'm playing through this, consider this the beta version. Like, I'm gonna refine, and I'm not gonna change it like to suit myself. I'm gonna keep the rules as they are. But if there's any game breaking stuff that happens, we can talk about it and we can adjust as required. But by the end of this playthrough, it will be well and truly refined as a challenge. Totally doable. I think once the HMs are covered, there's no reason why you can't, right? And I suppose apart from that, it's just about grinding your Pokemon up a bit and hoping that you have enough variety of effect types to actually be effective against the gym leaders, and then the Elite Four. We won't even think about that for the moment. Okay, can I do this? Okay, I can definitely do this. One more hit. Probably want to be like level 6. Maybe before I take on any of these trainers to the west. I may... I'll see how long this takes to get to level, maybe... I'll just get to 5 anyway as a loose goal. But yeah, I just wanted to dive into this to record something and to just get it off the ground, because sometimes you kind of procrastinate a bit, and it's like getting started is the hardest part, right? But once you get going and you have something recorded, you've episode 1 recorded, then it's just a matter of loading your save, continuing on, you know. So I've done the intro, I've done the intros and stuff, so that's kind of, I'm happy with that. But yeah, do comment, do get involved if you are following along. And I must shout out as well, there's a guy, I'm trying to think of the guy's name. Okay, let's get through this battle first. There's a channel I found on YouTube, and this guy, like, this person, like, records every location of it, nearly every Pokemon in each game. It's crazy, and there's a different playlist for each game. So if you're ever looking to find the location of a Pokemon or whatever, this person has, like, tailored playlists on YouTube of explaining where to find Pokemon and how to complete certain aspects of each handheld game. It's crazy, really. I'm just going to log into my YouTube here and see if I can get the name of the channel. Almost level 5. Nice. The channel is Techno Trainer is the YouTube channel, just coming up on 100k subscribers. But yeah, there's really useful info there about, they are just going through Pokemon Black and White at the minute, and different locations about where to find Pokemon. So I did check out some videos there, so very cool. Yeah, Techno Trainer is the channel. Okay. Okay, let's heal up here. my cat has awoken. He's beside it. Just give me one. I will be right back. Trying to. Okay. Okay. I am back. My cat requested to go outside, so I had to oblige. Okay, so we're level 5, so let's check out Route 102. So as you'll see, the pool of Pokemon slightly changes. So you have C-Dot, which is a grass type. So another potential option. I might actually bring up, like, it's only going to take 2 seconds. I'm actually going to bring up. Okay. See that just destroyed us there. Yeah, I'm going to bring up the, let's just do it now actually. So Route 101. And okay, so this is Route 101. So as you can see in Ruby, there's Poochyena, Zigzagoon, and Wurmple. Nothing too exciting there, but Wurmple will be a potential. So let's check out. So obviously you go up to Oldale. So then there's Route 103, which is just to the north there. That's where we fought Brendan. So can you see that? You can. Okay, so there's Poochyena, Zigzagoon, and then there's Wingull. So Wingull is another option here. I think I'm leaning towards Wingull as being my second Pokemon. The second Pokemon on my team. And then when you get to Route 102, sorry, that's when it gets really interesting. So there's a bunch of Pokemon here. So we have Poochyena, Zigzagoon, Wurmple again, but we also have Seedot, Ralts, and Surskit. And then we can check out the fishing stuff later, but so yeah, Ralts is a psychic type, so we're probably going to have to really search for Ralts. There's a 4% chance, and there's only a 1% chance of finding Surskit, but those two Pokemon are really important. Surskit's water type, as I mentioned, but more so Ralts. Seedot is interesting because you get Nuzleaf, which is kind of, I think that's where the Nuzlocke name comes from, is it? But that's a grass type. So that's some of the Pokemon that, well, it's literally all of the Pokemon that you'll have to pick from, but there's some options. It's not too limited. Like you can go for some of these guys, but you can also then fish later on. And yeah, so that's, I suppose the first task is to think about the second Pokemon. But for the moment, let's see if we can just get through some trainers with Poochyena. So I might level up one more level actually. 5 still isn't great. I'm only level 4 actually. I never even got up to 5. Okay, now everybody's missing. But yeah, I think with Wingull and at least one water move, we should be good for the first gym. And then after you defeat the first gym, you get to I can't remember the name of the city, but you get to the next town basically, and it's the coastal town where you get the old rod. Okay, we learned how. But then we can backtrack and, like I said, maybe catch a Tentacool. Magikarp's not really viable in the early game because that would take a lot of grinding to get to level. I think it doesn't learn Tackle until level 15. Now you do get Gyarados eventually, but not possible in the early game in terms of grinding and stuff. But let's just chat to this. Oh yeah, he was sketching and stuff. Okay. Okay, there's a little tutorial thing here. Oh nice, we get a potion for listening in. Yeah, sometimes I like to just chat to the locals. Okay, so let's just try, I think one more level. I'll level up one more and then, I mean, I probably need to be like, yeah, 6 or 7 anyway before I start taking on trainers. I mean, even then am I a little bit weak. Although I'm doing much better now against Wurmple. So yeah, obviously there's a few trainers to clear before we get to Petalburg City. But yeah, so it's kind of interesting. I'm excited to see how this plays out. Nervous also, but it feels more of a challenge than the 151 one did actually, because the 151 challenge actually you could catch Pokemon throughout the game. So you could catch Pokemon in the late game that were like super high level. Whereas this, this is actually going to be quite a challenge, but totally worth it, I think, for sure. I could use a potion here. I should be okay, actually. Should be fine. Decent first episode, actually. Yeah, I was thinking it could be on the shorter end, but it's just tipped over the hour mark there, which is not bad. I think when I did the 151 challenge of gold, or the 151 playthrough of gold, it like averaged out like an hour and a half nearly an episode. So I usually set out with a particular goal in mind, like maybe just defeat a gym leader or get to the next area or whatever. But you always end up playing a little bit more. I'm actually going to heal up. I'm just going to use a potion. Just to speed things up a little bit here. I do appreciate grinding obviously isn't the best content. Again, it's very hard to use grinding in a sentence without it being kind of sounding like a joke, but yeah, grinding and leveling up is not the most exhilarating content, but I think well, it has to be done, unfortunately, but once you get past that initial struggle of level 2, 3, 4, things start to kind of feel a little bit better. Like even now, I'm kind of slicing through these guys fairly quick, and I'm leveling up as well. Okay, level 6. So let's try and take on something in the wild here. It shouldn't be too much stronger than the previous route. They should be all around 2 to 4. Okay, level 3, yeah, that's fine. So I think the first gym, I'm wondering what levels are they. I think 16 is usually the highest level of the first gym. Something like that. I won't get there just yet. We still have to get to Petalburg. So we're still relatively close to home, remember. Which our character likes as part of the story. But yeah, like I mentioned, so when you go beyond Petalburg and continue in the game, you obviously can't catch any wild Pokemon beyond that point, but you can at any point return to these early routes at any point to catch as many different new Pokemon or multiple or whatever. It's entirely up to you. So I think what I'll do is let's get to level 7, and I think there's only 1 or 2 trainers, so we'll beat them, get to the Pokemon Center in, but look at this, using an Oranberry, get to the Pokemon Center in Petalburg City, and I will call it there for the episode, because at least then like you'll know the parameters from which I and anyone else who tries the challenge will be working from, basically. Okay. Okay, can I heal up again? Still taking a chunk, like a little bit of damage, chunk of damage. I suppose what gets me excited about a challenge like this as well is I used to like when Pokemon games kind of surprised you with some of the wild Pokemon in the early stages. Like you'd come across a kind of more like what's the word I'm looking for? Like a more interesting or thematic one rather than just a kind of a Caterpie like Pokemon like Wurmple or Poochyena, Zigzagoon or whatever. You know, it would be something like the Geodude you can see early on in Gold. That used to kind of excite me. I was, you know, it's kind of cool, you know, because you expect to see that later on in the game. And so that's, I guess there's a kind of there's something interesting about building a challenge around just the early stages or the early grassy areas, because you have to really kind of use your imagination a bit to try and get excited about some of them kind of more mundane Pokemon or whatever. So it does add a bit of, it adds new life into the game, which I like. Okay, we're not going to take on that Zigzagoon. Ideally a level 3 here. Okay, nice. So for the my previous challenge of Gold for the thumbnails, I would usually screenshot a Pokemon and highlight a certain battle or moment or whatever. So I might do that again. I think catching the Poochyena was an important moment, right? So I might try and incorporate that into the thumbnail. And I have a really cool oh no, it's not reconstructed. A really cool like scan I found of the Ruby box art in decent resolution, so I have that as well for the thumbnail, which is cool. So one more battle here, we should get up to 7, and then we can take on a couple of trainers and keep this rolling. Okay. This should do it. This should get us up to 7. I might buy a couple of potions as well. I might need it to get through a couple of trainer battles if they're tough. I often wonder, like, should I have a map? I think this happened to me before. I forgot to talk to somebody about getting a map. So I must just check the Bulbapedia off camera to make sure I don't miss that again, because it should be in the options, right, at this point. So I've probably missed that. Okay, our first trainer battle with Poochyena. Let's go. We can do this. Okay, level 5 Zigzagoon. Shouldn't be... Okay, is that... Yeah, our defense is going to fall. Okay, that helped. Big time. It's all about them critical hits when you need them. Okay, he is no match. Poochyena's starting to feel stronger. Nice. nice. I never actually bought potions. I don't think I need the potions at this point. Okay, we have a bug catcher here. I think there might be one more before you reach Petalburg. I'm not too sure on that. This shouldn't be too bad. It's probably just Wurmples. Maybe Cascoon as well. The middle evolution. Aesthetically though, the user interface and the entire interface for Ruby is just really nice. I like it. It feels like a level up from the first and second gen, which were very similar. I mean, Gold did add the night and day cycle and a few more kind of cool features, but overall still felt like a more colourful expansion of Gen 1, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's great. But yeah, this feels like definitely a step forward in graphics, in the interface and everything else. So yeah, see, oh god, he's biding his time. Okay, this should take us up to level 8. Nice. Oh, I might need to use a potion here. Ah no, I think I'm good. Never mind. That's a decent bit of HP. Yeah, Poochyena wouldn't be my first choice, but I was kind of swayed because Mightyena is just a very cool evolution. I like the sprite as well. It's like a wolf hyena hybrid, I think, is the idea. Oh yeah, obviously if we want to learn fly as well, you might be thinking there's no Pidgey, there's no Spearow, there's no Tailo. Thankfully Wingull can actually learn fly, which is grand. So Wingull might be the weeping bell of this playthrough. If you've seen my previous playthrough, you'll understand the the comedy in that. But anyway, okay, let's take the berries. So you can plant berries as well. So when you return, a new one will grow. So let's do that. Just for... why not? Okay, so... Petalburg is... Okay, there's actually one more battle here, so let's just heal up. Just going to use a potion. Okay. Okay, last Tiana, is it? Should be no problem now, level 8. I shouldn't have any problems against the kind of level 4, level 5. Should be easy for me now. These zigzagoons can be a little bit tricky, right? They're kind of very defense-minded. It takes a while to kind of deal any damage. Okay, finally, that should do it. Almost level 9, which is great. You know, just for the sake of it, let's just defeat a random wild Pokemon and get to level 9. So yeah, it's going to be quite hard to level up anyone, right? Even, like, I was just thinking, even if I caught, like, this level 3 C-Dot, I'm going to have to go back. I'm going to have to think about that, because... No, it won't take too long. I was going to say I could grind if I catch something and I need to grind it up, like, to level 5 or 6. I'm going to have to actually decide quite early my main 2 or 3 Pokemon going forward for, like, the first couple of gyms, because I'm going to have to, like, get them up to a decent level, like all to level 10 or something, to be viable. So there is a little bit of strategy to think about. But I don't need to worry too much at the moment. Let's just chat to some people in here for a moment. For a second, okay. Some kind of scientific wizard. I'm a scientific wizard, I hope. Okay. You make your own profile. Okay, we don't need to worry too much about this. Okay, so... Right, so Poochyena level 9. So this is obviously, this is Petalburg, where people mingle with nature. So this is the point. Okay. This guy's going to give us a tour of the town. So this is Petalburg Gym. We can't actually battle the leader because the leader is our father, Norman. What's it say? A man in the pursuit of power. Okay. So yeah, that's why I say up to and including Petalburg City, is because obviously there's a watery little lake thing area here, so you can fish there if you like. But okay, so he won't let us pass. But anyway, after that point, to the left. So we have to talk. We have to go in there first before we progress, obviously. But can I? Oh no, okay, never mind. I was gonna see if I could go into that house, but anyway. Yeah, this is the point. This is the point you can go to catch Pokemon. So anything after this in the game is off. Is out of bounds in terms of catching Pokemon. So yeah, I'm not gonna play around too much here. But okay, it's the Pokemon Mart. I might actually just save it there, to be honest, because... Oh yeah, sorry. Well, no, we've leveled up to level 9. Why not? Yeah, I might save it there. Usually I stand outside the Pokemon Center. And save the game. It's like a ritual at this point. Go to the Pokemon Center, save the game. Okay, yeah, so that's the start of the Petalburg Challenge adventure. If you think it's a cool idea, let me know in the comments. If you think I could adjust it, if you have any ideas, if you want to create your own spin-off challenge or whatever, that would be perfectly fine. As I said, consider it open source. You can do what you like with it, and this is like the trial version. So I'll make all the mistakes here, but it's looking okay so far. I think we need to catch Wingull next to have a chance against the first gym, and Then after that, we should probably think about a third Pokemon, because they're all going to be quite low level. So I will need to try and level things up quite quick here, so I don't get stuck. Like, the further you progress, the kind of more problematic it is to be catching Pokemon that are level 3. Put it that way. So I need to kind of catch everyone early, or at least the first 3, before I kind of progress too far. But yeah, I'm just going to save again for good luck, for good measure. Okay, nice. But yeah, thanks very much for watching, and I'll be back again soon with part 2.